going to show you how to double crochet. That's in UK terminology. And it's a really useful stitch. It's one of the fundamental stitches in crochet. I'm using a 5mm hook and Aran weight yarn, so that matches quite well. Hopefully you'll be able to see the stitches. I've started here with a foundation chain, which is the way most crochet projects begin, and I am going to make 14 double crochet stitches. So I have chained 14 and then I have added one extra for my foundation chain. That is because I need what's called a turning chain. So the last stitch does not count, the last chain stitch does not count. Okay, it's used simply for the purposes of turning my work, because I'm going to be working along in rows. So here are my stitches. I'll count along or count backwards, whichever's easier, and I will not be going into this last chain stitch. That is my turning chain. I'll be going into the second chain from my hook and working straight in there for my first double crochet. So what I need to do is I need to insert my hook into that chain, the second chain from the hook. Then I need to yarn over. I will pull through one loop and I will have 2 loops on my hook. I will yarn over again and pull through gently both loops on my hook, and I have completed 1 double crochet stitch. So let's do that again. Okay, so working my second double crochet into the next chain, so I'm sort of going in the V there. I will insert my hook, yarn over, pull through, so pull up a loop. Now I've got 2 loops on the hook, 1, 2, yarn over and pull through again. Okay, so I've made 2. I'm going to continue, insert, yarn over, pull through, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, through both loops all the way along here. So I shall work into all of my chain stitches until I have completed 14 double crochet. So I have now worked 14 double crochet stitches all the way along my chain. That is row 1 complete. So what I need to do now is to make 1 chain at the end of this row and then turn my work so I can work along row 2 to continue the sample. So this last chain stitch that I've made again is not going to be worked into. That is the turning chain. So what I want to do now is make my double crochets in a slightly different way, because I'm not now working into the chain anymore. Whilst you can work into the stitch, it is not the sort of most straightforward double crochet stitch that is working into the back loop only, and is used, but in this case we are just going to learn straight double crochet back along the row. So I'm no longer going to insert my hook into the V shape. Now I will be putting my hook through the entire fabric when I work my stitches. So that is my turning chain. This is my first stitch that I will work into. The V is on the top, okay, and I want to go through that V, completely through. I can tighten this up if I need to, okay. And so once I've inserted my hook, as usual, yarn over, pull through, yarn over and through both loops on the hook. and I have completed my first double crochet of row 2. Okay, let's do that again. Second stitch, I'm not going into the V, I'm going through, so it's sitting on top of my hook actually. Yarn over, pull up a loop, got 2 loops on the hook, yarn over and pull through both loops. That's 2 double crochet. Let's do one more together. So next stitch, I'm going through the fabric completely underneath that V. Okay, yarn over, pull up a loop, 2 loops on the hook, yarn over, through both loops on the hook. That's 3. We continue the row. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, work at your own pace, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Do make sure to just count your stitches at this point, just to make sure you haven't sort of missed one or you haven't made too many. Okay, so you can count by counting the V's along the top. Okay, and then you will continue to work the rest of your sample just like you worked row 2. So make a chain, turn your work, okay, and work all the way along, going through each stitch again underneath the V shapes that are along the top, working 14 stitches each time until you have a sample out the way which looks something like this. I've done 16 rows here, so 14 stitches, 16 rows. You can see that when I've completed 2 rows, kind of makes a little sort of dent in the fabric. So the rows there are 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16. When you get to the very end, you will just need to make 1 chain, pull up a long loop and cut your yarn to fasten off.